1 versus 8 seed, I have the Boston Celtics beating the Chicago Bulls in 7 games. Now, that might seem like a little bit of a surprise, but honestly, Boston Celtics don't really have any rim protection at all, and especially versus a team like the Chicago Bulls, like Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, and all them driving to the basket, like that's going to be rough on the Boston Celtics. Although Boston Celtics do a very good job on perimeter defense, so they can hold back them from actually driving in to the hoop. But honestly, Chicago is definitely going to give Boston a hard time in the playoffs. But I still have Boston winning it just because they still have more pure talent than the Chicago Bulls overall. They have a better bench and they're typically more healthy, so there's always a chance that a player from the Chicago Bulls could get hurt. Or at least just having a higher chance of getting hurt compared to somebody on the Boston Celtics. Also, I think the Boston Celtics have a better head coach in Brad Stevens overall. Moving on, the 2 versus 7 seed Cleveland Cavaliers versus Indiana Pacers. I apologize, this picture isn't the best, but I'm going to say the Cavaliers in 5 games. Pacers actually aren't a horrible team, and I think they can still beat the Cavs. It's just really, when playoff time comes, let's be real here. Cavs are just so much better, so much more in sync than they are in the regular season, and for that reason I have them over the Pacers. But I still believe the Pacers could force a game just because, hey, they have Paul George, and Paul George is a superstar in my opinion. He's still a very good player, it just depends on how he plays against LeBron James. I have the Wizards beating the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games. Honestly, they're just too fast for the Atlanta Hawks. Wizards, they have a superstar in John Wall. They have a scorer in Bradley Beal. They have a two-way player in Markieff Morris. They have Marcin Gortat and Nene as big men. Like, they aren't the best, but really, overall, they just have a better team than the Atlanta Hawks, and Atlanta Hawks don't have a superstar to lead their team, and that's why I don't think they can really get out of the first round versus a team with a superstar. And honestly, let's be real here, the Washington Wizards have a much better offensive scheme than the Atlanta Hawks. They run the game much faster, have much better pick and rolls. They have a better playmaker in John Wall than Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder is still pretty young, and he's going to struggle against John Wall, just really cutting to the hoop and everything. Now, bright side for the Hawks, they still do have Paul Millsap, who could be very solid for them. But really, Paul Millsap hasn't been having the best season, and I don't think he's going to be a huge factor in this series. Finally, for the first round in the Eastern Conference, Toronto Raptors versus the Milwaukee Bucks, I have the Raptors winning it in 6 games. Honestly, Bucks are going to have a hard time in the point guard and shooting guard department because DeRozan, this guy is a great scorer, and really the best scorer the Bucks have is Giannis, who is a great scorer, don't get me wrong, but other than that, they don't have a ton of scorers on the team. I mean, Chris Middleton is nice, Malcolm Brogdon are nice, but they're not going to carry a load like DeMar DeRozan has Kyle Lowry to help him, and Serge Ibaka and Jonas Valanciunas, and also Toronto Raptors just have a much better bench overall, and they also have a better defense, but I still think the Bucks might have a chance at beating them if they can outrun them, out-hustle the Toronto Raptors, have their offense run through Giannis the whole time, which I'm sure they'll do, but in the end, Toronto's still a better team overall. Moving on to the second round in the Eastern Conference playoffs, Boston Celtics versus Washington Wizards. I'm gonna have to take the Washington Wizards in this series in 7 games. Boston, really, again, no rim protection, and they need that with John Wall on the floor. John Wall is such a slasher. He can drive to the hoop, and really, John Wall, having as... it's kind of hard to say. Isaiah Thomas is probably going to guard Bradley Beal on defense, but Boston Celtics are going to struggle guarding them because the thing is with Isaiah Thomas, if Washington Wizards run pick and rolls, he's going to struggle because Isaiah Thomas can really only guard the shortest player on their team because I don't blame him, but he is very bad on defense. Isaiah, as good as he is in the fourth quarter and on offense, he is not good defensively. And he's short, okay? You got to give him a little credit there. But, yeah. And, Al Horford is, and even if John Wall does get past Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley, when he does, Al Horford isn't going to be able to stop him. I have the Cavs beating the Toronto Raptors in 6 games this year. Both teams, in my opinion, the rosters are both a bit better. I think it's just going to go down how it did last year, Cavs winning in 6 again, because, again, both teams have improved, but no, despite both their records going down, but still, LeBron, you're going to have Patrick Patterson go up against LeBron James, and hell no. They're just not stopping it. Matchups are not good for them, for the Toronto Raptors, because, you're going to have either Kyle Lowry or DeMar DeRozan guard Kyrie Irving, which is going to kind of be scary, and then have, Patrick Patterson or I can't remember their other small forward. DeMarre Carroll. Yeah, DeMarre Carroll guarding LeBron. They're decent defensively, but they're still not going to stop LeBron. And then Serge Ibaka and Kevin Love is good for the Raptors, but still, talent-wise, Cavaliers are just better. Finally, the Eastern Conference Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Washington Wizards. I have the Cavs winning it in 6 games. John Wall and Bradley Beal, they can do their thing. Markieff Morris is going to do his thing. The Wizards are just going to do their thing, play very well. But LeBron is going to step up. Kyrie Irving is going to step up. And they're going to beat the Wizards. Just more talent on the team overall. Better offensive power or firepower. And if Cavs step it up on defense, they could beat the Wizards in 4 or 5 games, honestly. But I don't really see them stepping it up a whole ton until the finals. I still think they will step it up against the Wizards because they need to against the offense as good as offensively the Wizards are. But yeah, so I have the Cavs winning in 6 and making it to the NBA Finals.